Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Max AC channel. I was trying to think of a new theme to do this month, and I was having a bit of trouble finding a word that started with F to coincide with February, but then I went to buy some eggs and they were $6.79, and so for this month, we will be doing Frugal February, where we will be making 4 delicious recipes that will hopefully help save you a few bucks by using ingredients you probably already have lying around your house. So, for this week's episode, since it's my birthday, we will be making a delicious chocolate cake without eggs or milk. For this cake recipe, you will need 1½ cups of flour, a third cup of cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, ½ teaspoon of salt. Any salt will do, but I like using sea salt for baking. 1 cup of granulated sugar, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, ½ cup of vegetable oil. I would recommend against using olive oil since it's pretty pricey, but use what you have on hand. And since I have about a ½ cup left, I'll just use the rest of this for the cake. You will also need 1 cup of coffee or water. And the special ingredient, 1 tablespoon of vinegar. You can either use apple cider vinegar or white vinegar. And no, your cake won't taste vinegary since it will react completely with the baking soda to help leaven the cake. First, preheat your oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. Then while we wait, we'll prepare the cake batter. First, for the dry ingredients, to a medium bowl add your flour, cocoa powder, baking soda, and salt. I recommend using a sifter for this as the cocoa powder likes to clump up and that makes it hard to evenly mix everything, but it's completely optional. Once everything is well combined, we'll add the wet ingredients. Normally we'd combine them first before adding them to the dry ingredients, but that's not really necessary for this recipe. So, just add in your sugar, vanilla extract, oil, and coffee, and mix until well combined. Then, before you add the vinegar, make sure to prepare your pan by lining it with parchment paper. This helps with the removal of the cake once it's done baking. To do this, cut a large piece off of the ream and then line up the pan to fold the paper based on that. You can also, of course, use the line guides if your parchment paper has it. Make these slits in the corner to make it easier to fold. Place that in the pan to see if it fits, and then trim the excess. Once your pan is ready, add your vinegar to your batter and give it a little mix to spread the vinegar throughout. You should start to see it bubble like this. Then, quickly add your batter to the pan, making sure to spread it evenly in the pan. The oven should be done preheating by now, so once your pan is ready, put your cake in and bake it for about 30 minutes or so. One way to check if it's done is using a toothpick to check the center of the cake. If it comes out wet, it still needs a little bit more time. But if it comes out clean with a few tiny crumbs stuck to it, it's done. Once it's done, remove it from the oven and let it rest for about 20 minutes or so. While we wait for it to cool, we will now prepare the frosting. You can of course use pre-made frosting, but this one's super simple to make and uses ingredients you probably already have. For this recipe, you will need 3 tablespoons of softened butter. If you want to make this cake completely vegan, you can substitute this with plant-based butter. 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder, 3 tablespoons of hot water, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 2 cups of icing sugar or powdered sugar. First, in a medium bowl, add your butter, cocoa powder, hot water, and vanilla extract and mix until the butter is well combined and the mixture is glossy. Next, we will be slowly mixing in the powdered sugar about a cup at a time. I recommend adding the powdered sugar with a strainer as well, since it'll help it prevent it from clumping. I also recommend using an electric mixer if you have one, but as you can tell, it still works fine if you don't. You'll just have to mix it a bit longer if you're doing it manually. Once the powdered sugar is completely combined, your frosting is ready to use. When your cake is cool enough, remove it from the pan and pour your frosting over the top. I probably should have mixed my frosting a bit more since it was a bit runnier than I thought, but it still tastes the same and I was being lazy. In either case, once you spread your frosting over your cake to your liking, your Depression-era chocolate cake is now ready to eat. This recipe was actually the inspiration for this month's theme. I was looking for a good cake recipe a couple weeks ago for my birthday, and I stumbled upon this recent recipe video by Emmy Made. I thought it was interesting that this cake recipe didn't use any eggs or milk, and with the recent news about the egg prices going up, I thought that this theme of Frugal February would be fun to do. And if you haven't already, I definitely recommend checking out Emmy's channel as well. She does really fun and cool kitchen experiments and has an infectious positive attitude in all of her videos. In terms of the actual recipe, I love how super simple and easy it is. All you have to do is mix together ingredients that you probably already have lying around, throw it in a pan, and voila! Your very own birthday cake. The frosting was a bit weird texture-wise, as it was more of a glaze than a frosting, but that was more of the fault of my laziness than the recipe. But it still tasted really good, so I'm not complaining. Though, if you want your frosting to be fluffier, just make sure to mix it well, which is a lot easier to do with an electric mixer. I feel like I bring up that I don't have an electric mixer a lot, so maybe I should just go and buy one for myself as a birthday present or something. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video. In the comments below, let me know how it went if you decided to make it, and let me know if there's anything you want me to make next. Like the video, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to this channel for more episodes of the Max AC channel. And remember, if you want to stay cool in the kitchen, turn your AC to the max and watch the Max AC channel.